Well, it's the never-ending saga of farm life and equipment. So we've been doing bush hogging with the little TC33, and the last couple of times it would start to get hot. Thought maybe it was plugging up with seed heads or grass seed, etc. But what actually is going on here, I'm gonna see if I can do this without having to do the camera flip. Water pump bearings are shot. You can see it wiggling there. So, gotta find me a water pump and replace it. Fun. So, drain the radiator. Got the top hose off. Got to take this side cover off. We'll have to get in here and take the alternator belt, loosen it. Loosen the alternator on the bracket, get the belt off. Radiator have to pull out, and then we can get access in, get the fan and the pump off. Okay, bottom hose off. Usually once you take the clamp loose, you just give them a twist and they'll usually break loose. Sometimes they're kind of stuck, but anyway, the brackets on both sides had to come off. This side as well. There's two 15mm bolts heads that run up through the bottom of the radiator through the rubber bushings for vibration, and then there's 4 plastic fan shroud belts, easy for me to say. Now, I'm not going to take this off, at least I'm not going to try. This is a bracket that goes from the shroud. It's just a support bracket. The radiator's going to come out, I presume, and then I probably can get the belt and the fan off this way without having to take the shroud off. We'll see. Well, we can thank the engineers at New Holland for this wonder. So there's a line here, and it's going to be really hard for you guys to see it, but it's the bottom of the radiator, and I didn't see a secondary line. I'm thinking, why is there a line with no either input or return? Well, it comes down here to this petcock, and what you can actually see appears to be the way you drain the radiator. And then it has a line that goes on up into the side of the block. So anyhow, I'm going to try to take some long needle nose and see if I can get them in there and get that guy to slide off. Okay, now with the radiator out, you can really see that. In fact, you can see where it looks like it's possibly been slightly hitting, or maybe even significantly hitting. I looked at the radiator on the back side, no damage. So I'm probably going to order a new fan. You can see the shavings in here. And so got to get online and see if I can locate one of those along with the water pump. Just a little tip on getting these 4 bolts out. Of course, it wants to spin. The belt tension's not enough to hold it. Normally wouldn't be. So just a pipe wrench on the back side. This pulley size and flange is big enough that it supports it, and it's very easy to break them loose that way. Okay, now we got the fan out, and I guess we can get rid of our helper. Set that off to the side for a moment. Alright, so we'll get that belt loosened up and get it off there. Then it looks like we're going to have an input hose and the output hose, or vice versa, excuse me. And then it's just getting the bolts off of it and pulling it off. And it looks like, daggone it, they've made it to where the alternator bracket mount is apart, or at least over the assembly. So that's gonna have to come off too. Okay, now we got all that stuff off, belts off. We're gonna try and take the screwdriver and coax this off and pull it out of the way. So we got all these loose pretty quickly. Thought I wasn't gonna have to take that lower hose off, but no, the design engineers come through again and put this little frickin' through bolt stud with a nut on it right up against the housing, right up against the hose. So the lower hose is going to come off, and then we're going to see what kind of fun this little guy brings us. And literally got all the bolts out, and it just pulled straight out. Okay, we got all the holes blocked off, so no bugs or dirt or anything. We'll get in there while we go look for parts. So it's disassembled. The pump is on order. I got to check on the fan blade. It's going to be about a week on the pump. So Becky and I are headed to the boat, and we'll do a follow-up video update after this thing is repaired. Hopefully the next video you'll see is some boat activity.